Blueprint mailbag time. Today's question comes from Prasad. He says, what has been the most effective and scalable way for you to generate sales calls for your agency? And what sales process has worked the best for you? A one-call close, Zoom with demo deck? Is there anything you do to warm up prospects before a sales call? If you were to look at our data, it might say Facebook ads, mainly because that is a last touch attribution channel, meaning that people are converting through the Facebook ad to ultimately book a call with us. Now, that's not always the case because a lot of the times when we sit down and we ask prospects or they fill out a form that we have them fill out before becoming a client, they tell us that they've seen our videos, they heard us on a podcast, they've basically seen our content. So content for me has always been, look around, I'm in a studio on a Friday morning filming content, not because I love doing it, because it's that important to my businesses. And content is really what drives all of our marketing, and it makes everything that we do on top of that easier. So now when we advertise, we're making offers to people that are already familiar with us. And that's probably the most impactful thing that you can do for any business, especially in the B2B space, but your agency is if you create content, just consistently putting out pieces of information that have value, targeting who your exact customer is. For example, this business of Blueprint Training, we work with agencies. I'm sitting here answering questions, helping agencies out about anything. I put this on the internet, people see it, and then it breaks that first touch point with them, which is the hardest thing to do, which is getting them to understand and know who you are and what you do. And then after that, if they see an ad or they see another piece of content, they're gonna be 10, 20, 30, 40 times more likely to take any sort of action on it. And that's why you can't really operate any sort of marketing in a silo. That's why when businesses or you do one thing, you're like, I did SEO, I did paid search, I tried Facebook ads, they didn't work. Yeah, because you did it in a silo. Marketing is an ecosystem. It's an interconnected web. The way that the internet works now is it's all connected through our phones. If you have Instagram and YouTube and Google and all your phone, and you're doing all that activity on it, these companies are triangulating you and building basically audience profiles based on all your data and information, all the activity that you take on the web to better serve you ads. That's really what's happening. So I'm able to target people that have seen my content, not even by putting anything into Facebook or YouTube or any of our targeting, but just because these platforms want to serve me people that I know will convert or they know will convert, because then I'm gonna advertise more. And if I advertise more, they make more money. So you have to be continuously putting out as much content as possible, targeted specifically to your target client. If it's getting 5, 10, 15 views from your target client, that's powerful, and that also stacks up over time. And this could be podcasting, this could be video, this could be social media content, this could be blog content. You have to figure out what works for you and figure out a scalable flywheel, as I call it, to be able to create this content. And then you can start getting more aggressive with advertising. And that's when your advertising is really gonna start working, because otherwise, if you just try and go out and run ads to a cold market, it's gonna be really expensive, and the quality of those leads is not gonna be great because they're not gonna really have any idea or context for who you are. To answer your last part of your question, where you said, is there anything you do to warm up prospects before a sales call? That's what marketing does. Marketing is bringing people in that are already aware, they've already seen my content, they already know what we're about, and it's just a conversation of, is this price point gonna work for me and as an investment to my business? It cuts off an entire part of the sales process that's really difficult, which is if you're giving sales presentations and you have to explain to them what it is that you do, they're not ready for you. They're just not, because it's a whole nother step on top of the sales process that you have to convince them of. You have to convince them that what you do, whether that's SEO or Facebook ads or pay-per-click, is important for them. You don't want that. You want people coming in already having self-educated and making the decision, yes, I am in market for what you do. I'm in market for SEO. I just want to decide if you are the right person to do that for me. And that's why content is so impactful, because when I have sales conversations at my agency or Blueprint or whoever I'm talking to, my consulting company, I don't have to explain to them what I do because they've seen so many videos, and they've also come in already warmed up, feeling like they know me a little bit, feeling like they know who I am, what I stand for, and I don't have to waste time pitching them on all sorts of different pieces of value. We're just having a conversation about them, because ultimately that's what they care about. If you're having conversations about you, AKA you, the agency, talking about what you do and who we are and all of our people, they don't really care about that. What they care about is themselves. They care about the problem that they have, and are you the right person to solve that problem? So marketing and content cuts off all of that. And that's why outbound sales can be so difficult, because if you think about outbound sales, you're contacting people cold, and you have to add like multiple steps to the sales process, which elongates an already long sales process, and it wears you out. Like, you don't want to be wasting time building proposals that are incredibly detail-oriented and time-consuming. The other part of your question, what sales processes work the best for you? One call close, Zoom, deck. We have it's really a 2-call process at our agency. The first one's a discovery call. On that discovery call, again, people are coming in all inbound. We don't do any outbound marketing right now. We do some warm outbound, meaning we'll like contact people that are in our email database or have book calls before in the past, but for the most part, we don't do any cold outbound right now, although we're looking into that right now. So people can only come in one way to our business. There's no email address, there's no phone call. If somebody sends us a DM on a social platform, we send them our booking page. It's on our website, get started. It just takes them to a Calendly form, and there's 6 questions on it that they answer in terms of what they're doing, what they're currently spending, how they found us, just a bunch of questions in their law firm website so we can look at them and see if they're qualified. So all of our marketing and leads drive through that one call booking form. It just centralized it into one, that allows us to have one process instead of multiple processes. Because if you think about it, if you have multiple different call booking forms and all these different things, you're gonna have to have different processes, and I don't like the break process. So they all come in through one singular lead generation form, lead capture, and then after that, we have a discovery call. On that discovery call, I'm just having a conversation about them. What have you done for marketing to date? Tell me about your goals. What are your KPIs? How many leads are you currently getting? How many leads do you want to get? What are you paying per lead? Are you currently working with an agency? Tell me what you liked about them. Tell me what you didn't like about them. I'm asking all these questions to gather as much information as I can. 1, to qualify them, to make sure that they're qualified to work with us. 2, to really build interest with them, because like I said, people care about themselves. They want to talk about themselves. They don't want to sit through a presentation where you're like, this is our agency and this is what we do. No, they want to talk about themselves. There's a Toby Keith song, rest in peace, where he says, I want to talk about me. That's very applicable to the sales and business. If somebody's contacting your agency, they want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about their problems and their frustrations and what they want to do and their goals. You have to make sure to have that conversation extracted. It's really important too that you dig into their numbers. 1, because it's going to show that you're on top of it and that you are aligning with what they care about with business goals. And 2, if they don't know those questions, that opens a door for a pitch. I do it all the time. I'm like, what's your current cost per lead? They're like, I don't know. I don't have that tracked. I'm like, you don't have the CRM set up? They're like, no, we don't. I'm like, before we do anything, we got to get that set up. Like, how are you going to pay? Like, the reason why you want to blame your agency for the problems that you're having, but you don't know your own number. We have to fix that. And that's an opening for an easy pitch right there, either for a tripwire piece of work. I'll be like, hey, we'll do that for $2,000, or hey, we'll throw that in for free if you sign up to become a client so we can get this taken care of. So you're opening that door, and that's really what sales is in the agency space. It's not like a hard close. It's looking for opportunities, looking for areas of weakness that you can come in and say, hey, I can fix that for you, right? Here's why you needed to fix. That's what you're looking for during this process. So the first call is the discovery call. And then at the end of it, I wrap up and I say, okay, do you have any questions for me? Okay, let me talk to you a little bit about what we do and how I think we can help you. So I just give them like a high level overview pitch of what we do. And I'll tell them an estimated cost on that call too. That's really important. I never ask people for their budget, because marketing is not a cost, it's an investment, right? So I don't want to ask them what their budget is, because they're always going to sink down to something that they're comfortable with, and you could potentially be shooting yourself in the foot, because you might need 2 or 3 times that in order to deliver. If it's a very competitive space, they need a lot of work, whatever that may be. So I never ask about budget. I say, look, this is what you told me. You're getting 20 leads per month. You want to get to 50 leads per month. Based on what I'm seeing here, in order to get you to that goal, right, 50 leads per month, it will cost around X, Y, and Z. Does that sound like something you'd be open to if we can hit your goals? And I want to hear them say yes, because if they're like no, then we cut them off right away. So again, the whole discovery call is to get them talking about themselves, get them excited, right? Get them excited about working with you, understand that you're listening to them, you're hearing them, and then also qualify them at the end of the call, because the last thing we want to do is go through a whole proposal process and get to the end of it and have them be like, oh, whoa, this is way more than I thought this was going to be. We want to make sure that you're qualifying them, you're getting that number towards the end, at the end of that call. And then I just say, okay, look, before you leave this call, I want to book our follow-up call. I think you'd be a really good fit for us. On that follow-up call, we're going to go through and do a very deep analysis. I'm also going to basically give you a quote for exactly what it will cost to work with us. So that's the first call. And you always make sure that you book the second call on that call, get it literally an invite sent to them on that call, accept it, because with busy professionals, as soon as they get off that call, they're probably gone or they just decay. So on the second call, then you need to put together an analysis. That's a very deep dive into their current performance, the market performance. And then for our SEO analysis, we do 4 buckets. We do technical, we do local, content, and links. We do an analysis and a scorecard against each one of those. And I have all this inside of the Blueprint Training and the Sales Model. Make sure to check it out. I give you the analysis template. It's really impactful. The agency sales process is not a Wolf of Wall Street, one call, hard close. It's not. It is a consultative process. They need to understand that you are the person to solve their problems. In order to do that, you need to be a consultant, not a salesperson. So you need to do a very good analysis of their business, of their website. And then after I do that, then I put together the scope of work for us to attack those opportunities, right? So like how much content do they need? How many links do they need? How many technical fixes, et cetera. We go through that process, and then at the end of it, I present them a scope of work, also with a forecast. That's really important. We use our traffic projection tool to build a forecast to show them what they can expect as a result from us. So in this analysis deck, they're getting a very detailed scrub of their current performance. They're getting a projection on what they can expect as a return. They're getting a scope of work so they can see everything that we will do for them. And then they're getting a timeline and a cost for when we'll do those things and how much it's going to cost them. And that's it. And then at the end of that call, I say, look at where you at right now. Are you ready to make a decision? No, we need some time. Okay, how's the week sound? I'll give you a week. So next Wednesday, I'm going to follow up with a phone call or a text message. I don't want to be pushy. Don't make me that sales guy who's chasing you down. I spent a lot of time in this. Can you give me an answer by next week? It's really important that you look them in the face and you ask them that question, because if you don't, they're probably going to ghost on you. You need to make sure that you hold them accountable for all the work that you just gave to them, because busy professionals, again, we work with lawyers. They are really tough to get on the phone. They're really tough to answer emails. They're in court, this and that. Accountability is key. They put you through this process. That's why I like inbound leads too, because they're coming to you and they're basically giving up their leverage in this because you know that they want to work with you. So you need to say, we spent 5 hours on this. This is a tremendous piece of work. Even if you don't work with us, this is valuable to you, but I need to get an answer from you because we spent a lot of time on this. So it will dramatically stop ghosting for you. So again, all this is inside of the sales module, inside of the Blueprint training. You've got our templates, you've got our analysis frameworks. There's live sales calls that I have with prospects too, so you can see exactly what my cadence is like. Just make sure you check that out inside of the Blueprint training. I'll see you in the next video.